Frog fans! Welcome back to the table. Again, we've got the little fairy here. Just gonna start working up her skin tone. Well, not working up her skin tone, working up a base. We want to work up a base, get her nice and pale. Can't get over how adorably tiny this kid is. These pointy ears. All the fantasy kits that have been coming out lately, it's really cool. There's been like a big influx of fantasy kits that have been coming out lately. Because it used to be that there was only one or two fantasy kits. Well, not literally one or two, but you know, just a couple of fantasy kits floating around out there, and then the rest of fantasy artists would just take a normal kit and paint it to look different, or add clay modifications. Now artists are coming out with all sorts of fantasy kits. I don't know if anyone's familiar with Noe Art Dolls. She's a silicone doll artist. But I follow her on Instagram, and I think she's going to come out with a little alien baby in vinyl, so I would absolutely love to paint that baby if I can get my hands on the kit when it comes out. The little alien baby already exists in silicone. I believe she's done 2 silicone alien babies. Or maybe more, I don't know, but I don't paint silicone, so I would love to have a little vinyl alien baby. Because, like, to take a normal kit and make it look like your signature alien would be a lot of modification to the face. I don't think it's impossible, but it would be a lot of clay modification. And I haven't even attempted clay modification yet. That's like a next step for me for fantasy reborns, is to try some sort of clay modification. fun to make a little vampire baby. Little fangs. At some point I would like to do a vampire baby. Like, I would like to take a normal smiling kit and make a little smiley vampire baby. Little fangs poking out. Trickle of blood down the lip. Something about an infant drinking blood. I don't know. I have a very morbid taste in most things. Morbid sense of humor. Morbid taste in art, obviously. Definitely have a morbid taste in music. And then my tastes are basically bipolar, because I like the dark and deep and disturbing, but then I also like the cute and fluffy. I mean, you would probably think, depending on what I'm talking about and how I'm feeling that day, you would probably think that I had literally 2 split personalities, but no, it's just me. And if I did actually have a split personality disorder, I would know, because I've been analyzed quite a few times, so I'm sure they would have caught it by now. I keep feeling a sneeze, but it never actually comes. I'm afraid it's going to sneak up on me. I don't want to sneeze on the doll kit. Just all of a sudden out of nowhere. Choo! What an interesting splatter pattern. Go. So I can already see a little bit of a change in the tone there. What I'm using right now is a lot of white titanium white and a teeny tiny bit of purple, because yesterday when I put the first layer on, I wasn't really thinking. I was using my neutralizing mix as if she were a peachy kit, because I've been dealing with a lot of peachy kits lately, but she's not a peachy kit. She's that more neutral tone that has more of a yellow underbase to it, which works really good if you're painting like a normal Caucasian baby, but she's going to be a little fantasy fairy baby, so I want to bring her undertones way, way down. And since that she has a bit of a yellow undertone, I kind of want to see if I can mute that out a little bit. And if you look on the color wheel, the opposite to yellow is purple, and if you follow color theory, that should mean that adding some very subtle purple to the kit should make it less yellow, should neutralize the yellow. Normally, if I wanted to take some yellow out of a kit, I usually wouldn't do a whole lot of neutralizing on vinyl this color, if any, but usually if I would want to take yellow out of a kit, I would do like a very thin purple wash without the white, but because I wanted to make her really pale, I've done quite a opaque white mix with some purple in it. Ah, mohair! That's what happens when you root in the same place you paint. I usually root away from where I paint for that reason, but I've done a little bit of filming of my rooting, so I did it here to get the proper light and good place for the camera, and now there is mohair in my paint! My nose is itchy. Why does my nose always get itchy when I paint? Whenever you have something on your hands that you probably shouldn't put up to your nose, that's always, or shouldn't put up to your face, that's always when you get itches on your nose, your ears, that's some part on your face. Or whenever you're in a situation where you shouldn't just reach up and touch your face. Which is pretty much any moment you're out of the house these days. Reach back here, get the teeny tiny arms. They're they're so small they have to be put on shish kebab skewers because the hole isn't big enough at the base of the arm to go on my normal stand. I like that word, shish kebab. It's fun to say. Shish kebab. Shish. So I've been watching this little sort of documentary series on Netflix. Well, I guess it's not really a documentary series. I guess it's more of a... I don't know what it is, but there's this British comedian. His name is Jack Whitehall. Pretty funny guy. I was watching his comedy specials, and then Netflix started to automatically play a TV show where this comedian and his very uppity British father go all around the world visiting different places. And this British comedian's father legit has a Ariana toddler reborn. Only it's like, I don't want to be mean, but it's pretty cheaply made, and it's ugly. I'm sorry, it is. And I can't be sure of it, but I'm pretty sure it's probably a rip-off doll. Like, it's not an actual certified Ariana kit. I'm pretty sure it's one of those rip-off dolls, but it was still funny to see it make an appearance. Its name is Winston. And they take it to Chernobyl with them. And Vegas. It's hilarious. The son absolutely hates it. Dad hides it in his suitcase for one of their trips, and they're going over, like, the Russian border, and all of a sudden the guard for the border check pulls the doll out of the suitcase, and the guard's just looking at it like, what the hell is this? And the son and the dad are in the RV watching it happen, and the son's like, are you kidding me? Is that Winston? Why did you bring Winston? Have you had him all this time? Then the guard, like, brings the doll up to the car and demands that they take its clothes off so he can, like, I don't know, check it for drugs or something. They take all the clothes off, and the son passes the doll back through the window butt first, like, assuming the position for a cavity search, if you know what I mean. have Netflix, I would recommend looking them up. Kind of, even though it's not like an accurate representation of reborns, it's funny to see one pop up in something that has absolutely nothing to do with the hobby. A little speck of something. I hate that little specks of something that get stuck in my paint. It's not so bad when it's just a wash like this, but when it's something thick, like varnishing, it is so annoying getting little bits of stuff stuck in it, because if you try to get that bit out, you then have to go over it again, and if you touch it at all, you disturb it and have to smooth it back out. It's funny thinking about, like, seeing that show and seeing how much the adult son hated having the Winston doll around, although I can't blame him for hating the Winston doll, because his mom and dad are like, this is the son we never had, and he's like, I'm right here. But it just makes me think in the future, like, when and if I have children of my own, like, they're probably not even going to give it a second thought, because they're just going to be born with it there. They're, like, going to go over to their friends' houses and be like, where are your parents' dolls? Just like Jeff Dunham with his dummies. His kids go over to their friends' houses, and where are your daddy's dolls? It's going to be the exact same thing for me. Only, instead of puppets, it's literally dolls. Like, I guess when they get older, they might, you know, like, clue in and might be a little bit embarrassed by it, I guess. I don't know. But, you know, for the longest time, they probably won't think anything of it, because they'll just be born into it. They'll be born into it, kicking the dolls out of the crib so that they can take it. And then when they grow out of the crib, the dolls will go back into their crib. That's going to be the one really good thing about this. When I eventually do have kids, I'm going to have pretty much everything covered except for a car seat. Because you need to replace that every once in a while. Okay, well, here we have little Clyde, who is, I think, one more varnish away from being finished. I think after I get some more pencil in there and then varnish him one last time, I think that's as good as I'm going to get his hair. It's not perfect, but for the first time trying this technique, I don't think it's awful. Then we've got the custom baby, Nicole. She's getting pretty close to getting her hair done. Her limbs are in the oven right now on their varnish. Of course, I always finish my dolls' limbs before I finish their heads. It's just how it goes. I don't know if that's anyone else, but for me, that's definitely how it goes. And then we just saw the fairy baby. She's just getting started. And Claire has had her first blushing layer. So she's getting into some of that work. Blushing, creases, stuff like that. Alright, well, that's going to be all for today. Keep living the Frogling's life. Thanks for watching, and we shall see you tomorrow. Bye.